Hi, Jeff. Hi, Peter. Thanks for joining me.
Hey, Steve.
Good,
Thanks for having us.
good to see you, Steve.
Good to see you guys. Well, an investor from the book The Big Short, Kyle Bass, well-known investor, is in the news for some comments he made about commercial real estate that I want to get your input on. First off, he's predicting office commercial real estate sector could cost banks as much as 250 billion, so over a quarter trillion in defaults. However, at the same time, he's still positive on industrial, really sees the demand for data centers just continuing to really help that segment. Also very positive on multifamily properties. But again, on office, he actually favors some of those underperforming office buildings. We're talking urban core markets as some of those getting even converted to different purposes. But your thoughts on some of Mr. Bass's comments and thoughts?
Peter?
Well, I think it's hard to make a generalization on the problems in commercial real estate. I think what Mr. Big Short is talking about is the skyscrapers, the high rise in the major cities, some of which are business unfriendly, as a matter of fact. But anyway, yes, the banks could be taking some big losses on those properties. But it's very different from the kind of real estate that we invest in. We're in a suburban marketplace with office space, and we're in the growing areas. You can't categorize the United States into one fishbowl. It is regional in nature, and the real estate markets are regional in nature. And, the Houston market, which is growing pretty nicely, cannot be put in the same category as San Francisco nor Chicago. So I don't like the generalization. The other thing is industrial is growing like crazy, and it's a good place to be when you're in real estate. The fact of the matter is, and I may have mentioned this in another conference that we had, with all of the online shopping that's taking place, inventories must be 3 times the size that they used to be when shoppers were going to the local department store as well as the mass merchant store. Mass merchants are going to email type shopping. And so that has created this enormous requirement of industrial space. So sure, that's growing nicely. And if I were a big time banker, I'd be looking to invest in industrial as well. Our real estate practice is very different from what Mr. Big Short's writing about.
Yeah, the other side too is I don't know that I overly agree, not necessarily with you, Peter, but with him on the side of, is industrial a great, asset class to be in? Yeah, no, it is. I think it is on that side. However, I don't think it's right sized yet. I still think the cap rates that people are trying to have people purchase these properties at just doesn't make sense. Your interest rates are too high to accommodate a 4% cap rate. Just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and I'm going to just throw in my 2 cents here. There's just nuance in this, and a lot of times the journalists will just throw up a headline about commercial real estate in trouble. Well, any
Yeah,
market has winners and losers, and I
of
think
course.
it's pretty clear right now that a loser here may be some regional banks that took a pretty heavy bet on office in some urban cores, particularly urban cores. I mean, like, San Francisco's the poster child for this, that have bad public policies that have lowered the quality of life, and people would rather work elsewhere, oftentimes in the suburbs, maybe in a different, place like Austin. We've got a property in Miami that's doing well. There's plenty of winners here. But there's no doubt that for some regional banks, some of the loans they made that were heavily geared towards particular urban core markets with office properties could be in some trouble, a real problem. That's not all of commercial real estate, and there's plenty of areas that are doing well, even plenty of office areas in other areas, particularly in the suburbs we like. So that would be my 2 cents.
And add to it, one other side I think is, well, businesses in some cases may need more office space. Other businesses need less office space. So if you're talking about an urban sprawl and somebody who, is needs 1,000 square feet or 2,000 square feet, they're not going to go to this office building that's unwilling to do less than a floor. So you're going to see a lot of areas that have huge, floor plans that they're just unwilling to break up at this point, but they may be in the future just to accommodate smaller tenancy and get their occupancy up. So
Yeah, yeah, and then I think we could also go into the whole trend of multi-use and
yeah,
other kind of reimagining the office and other ways. Just some of the older office properties just are not on trend in the way that some winners in this space are.
right.
And I'm sure we'll kind of cover that in separate topics. Thanks for the insights, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Yep,
Steve.
always fun. Thanks, Steve.